Something's got a hold on me lately, though I don't know myself anymore. Feels like the walls are all closing in, and the devil's knocking at my door. Whoa, out of my mind, how many times did I tell you what to keep from tearing the skin off my bones?
Oh, we out here, we're trying. We need some people now. Let's see here. Sorry, trying to text at the same time. It's not easy. Hey. I'm just trying to figure out how do I even tell who's in here. Hey. Ah, so we have two phones. Two phones out here. All right. Well, looking at all the games today, there's a lot that I like and there's a lot that I don't like, if I'm being honest. I think my free play is probably one of the biggest ones to talk about. The Wild. Minnesota Wild, they're a team that it just has to win. They have to win right now. You saw it in the overtime game, pulling their goalie, risking a point to get 3. I think it was a pretty bold move. I think it kind of shows like the standard that they have. Honestly, they're in a need-to-win situation. They're playing a terrible Coyotes team, and I think they're just going to go for it. I think they're going to dominate the game at home. In regulation, you get them right around minus 130. I think it's kind of a no-brainer for me. I don't know, what are some games that you guys want to know? Anybody out there have any games they're looking at today or what they're interested in? Anyone out there have any games they're interested in? All 3 of you that are in the live stream, we're just picking up some steam here. Kind of getting used to this whole live stream thing. Normally we just do videos, but we're trying something new. Dallas, Jimmy likes the Dallas Stars. I was looking at that game as well. 2 hot teams, I'll say that. Stars have won their last 5 in a row. Panthers, one of the hottest teams since the All-Star break, and really added some weapons at the trade deadline. They're bringing in Tarasenko from Ottawa. Only place he wanted to play was Florida. Honestly, I think it's a big ad for them. 2 teams are making a cup run for sure. And Dallas is just going to be relying on their goalie. So, definitely excited about that. So we'll be watching that one pretty closely. I think that's going to be hitting my premium card as well. If you guys, the 5 people that are in here, premium card, looking at the Stars money line for sure. A lot of games out there though. We got a couple of toilet bowls. We got the Blackhawks and the Ducks. Both these teams are bad, but I think Chicago finds a win at home today. It's one of the games I've been looking at and just kind of watching it. Can Dallas win a big game? They've been beat up by Colorado a couple times, and we all know that. We've had a couple of red alerts on that. Haven't been able to give over the hump versus a fast Colorado team. The Panthers are no joke either, so I'm definitely for it. Hey, Gloria, how you doing? We love to see you here. I see you've been killing it yourself. Hoping to get some competitions like Jimmy's been running over here in our live page. Maybe get out a free month or so for some winners here. I have to do some more. Canes minus 170 is insane. You're not lying. Canes, they brought in some big guns. Kuznetsov coming from Washington. They made some noise at the trade deadline. The Rangers were pretty quiet, but the Canes added some firepower. I'm curious to see how that's going to add and how they're going to play. 2-0 in ping pong. I don't know where you find ping pong, Gloria. That is the best question I have, is where you find ping pong and how do you do your research on it is what I'm generally curious. I saw you posted it in the Discord, but if you guys aren't a part of the Discord, I highly suggest you hop over there as well. Great. Love ping pong. That is just insane. Love ping pong. I love hockey. I don't know if I can watch ping pong. Do you actually watch every ping pong match? I'm just, I'm curious about that. Oh. Another game that I'm leaning towards that liking today is the Sabres. I'm being honest. The Sabres versus Red Wings. Red Wings are a hot team. Going into Buffalo. Buffalo didn't really do anything at the deadline. Obviously the Red Wings have been a hot team since the All-Star break. They're maybe make a little bit of a playoff push, but I think the Sabres are going to go ahead and take this one as well. So just a lot of interesting matchups out there. That's what I'm asking myself, Jimmy. How does one get into ping pong? I didn't even know that was it's out there though. And hey, a win's a win. That's what we say. You can bet on just about anything these days. Looking at here. I'ma take a bougie ass to Rodale when and let her pick up whatever she want. Who did the Canes add? They got a couple guys. The biggest one for sure is Kuznetsov from the Capitals. Got a little trouble, you know. A lot of it happens. Player assistance program. But the Caps aren't doing anything this year. They dealt him off, and I think a fresh start for a good player. He's gonna be a big ad for them. Looking at it, not only Kuznetsov, but also Jake Gensel, the guy from the Penguins. He was one of the studs in Pittsburgh. You can tell that they're just in a full rebuild now, which is tough because Crosby stayed. But adding Jake Gensel is a huge ad for the Canes. Not only Gensel, like I said, Kuznetsov from the Capitals. They've added, like every team does this right around the playoff time. You see it. Debating on hitting Ottawa game over. I was looking at that game. I like Ottawa on the money line too. Like I just said, Penguins getting rid of Gensel is just insane to me. It just shows they're not in any desire to win this year. Even if they had a sniff of the playoffs, they gave it all up. They kept Crosby, which is tough because that means he's gonna be part of a rebuild. Not too many years left for probably the best two-way player of all time. But yeah, that was a big let go is the Gensel. It just shows what the franchise is doing. So I'm looking at that as well. But the over in that game, 6.5. Not a lot of defense. I don't know. I'm not sure about the over in that game. I'm kind of torn on that one right now. But I do like the Sens as a sneaky play at 105. Definitely. Looking at this Knights Kraken line too, it kind of has me thinking about it. I feel like the Golden Knights, you can't trust them. Yeah, Crosby's he said he didn't want to be a part of a rebuild in Pittsburgh, but I think he's too much of a proud guy, and I think it says something about a guy when you play your whole career in one city. I think that's what he wants to do, and so I think he's gonna stick it out. Even the rebuild has to happen. They asked him if he wanted to go somewhere. He said no, and so he's sticking it out in Pittsburgh. Whether they're gonna be good or bad, I think it's kind of up to them. I feel like Pittsburgh's probably just gonna be a deflated team though right now. So I'm staying away from Pittsburgh at the moment. Let's see here, but yeah, Flyers, Sharks. Flyers seems like a lock at puck line. I just stay away from puck line for most of the time. Definitely about that. But hey, I'm thinking about. I'm gonna get with you later, and we're gonna go over how to do the 10. $22.5, huh? Calgary soft. What do you mean by that? What do you think? What do you mean by Calgary being soft? That's what I want to know. I think another thing I'm going to do is we're going to start trying to get some set times, just every day, steady grind, right around lunchtime. Go ahead and go live for 10, 15 minutes and just slowly pick up some stuff here. Whether it gets the momentum or not, guys, girls, whoever's in here can get a couple of free plays out of me, and we can see what happens. Also looking at the Canadiens Blue Jackets. This is another dumpster fire. Call it the toilet bowl, but I think the Canadiens are going to do pretty well here. It's just a lot. I feel like in the NHL lately, it's been a lot of favorites lately. The Calgary line, I don't think it's that weird. I think plus 150 is pretty spot on for a good team at home versus a great team. Avalanche adding Middlestat is huge. That is a big pickup. They also added Brendan Duhaime from the Wild. Just another one of those teams that just kept adding weapons. A lot of people right now are mad about the Golden Knights and kind of doing the Tampa Bay Lightning special where they stash their players on long-term IR. They miraculously get healthy for playoffs, and they have an all-star roster. Minnesota team total over reg. Minnesota team total regulation. Minnesota regulation is my free play. Great breakdown on our video if you want to watch that one. I love them. They have to win, and they're playing a bad team. That's pretty simple. You know, a team that has to win, playing a team that's, what, 2-17 in their last 19 games. I think you got to take them there. So I'm all over the Wild. That might find its way on my premium card. I'm just looking to see a little more line movement out of that one. But yeah, Minnesota, desperate team versus a bad team. Great success for a play there, and you know, I'm all about it. A lot of good lines out there today. I think, like I always say in my free play videos, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays seem to be the best day for your best bang for your buck in the NHL, and that's definitely true today. Coyotes first period over 1.5. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like the Coyotes at all today, Gloria. I'm all about the Wild. Wild, I think, they're the desperate team right now. But, you know, the one thing with Minnesota is you don't know what you're going to get in goal. Is it going to be Gustafsson or is it going to be Fleury? They could pitch a shutout or they could give up five shots and 3 goals. So it is a crapshoot. That's the only thing I don't like about betting on the Wild is they're so inconsistent with their goalie play. They have 2 studs and they could be real duds for sure. So, Gloria, what games do you like in the NHL today? What are you looking at? Minus 125. See, that seems a little 3.5 at 125. Not a bad bet, but that's why I like them in regulation. I don't see them winning a 4-3 overtime game here. I can see them winning 3-1. I can see them winning, 4-1. It's just I don't know what the goalie situation is going to be like in Minnesota. So Minnesota team total 125. It's not a bad bet. It's probably right on the same juice as Minnesota regulation, so it's kind of out there, I'm looking at this Kraken Golden Knights line. Calgary Panthers. Panthers minus 1.5. Flyers minus 1. I like the Panthers. I don't like the Panthers. I'm not gonna lie there. I think the Stars at home. I think this is gonna be. Not that I don't like the Panthers, but I think this is gonna be a playoff style game. I think this is gonna be a really lock 'em down kind of game, and I think we could see overtime, especially a 1-goal game. Ottinger is going to be in net. Stars just rested him for 2 games in a row. I think they had this matchup circled. The over 6, it just screams it's going to be a tight game. I could see it being 2-2 going into the third. So I mean, I'm just looking at it. I'm looking at this Panther Stars game, and it's going to be a playoff game. I can obviously it'd have to be a cup match, but I think it's going to have that style, that flow. I think it's going to be pretty physical too. The Panthers are kind of starting to be known for being kind of a grimy team, and that just mucks it up. A lot of power plays doesn't always necessarily equate to more goals. It slows down the pace of the game. I think it's going to be a close one. I like the Stars under. I think the Stars under 6. I can see a very tightly contested game here, and especially with the Panthers, whether it's going to be Bob and net, I don't know. But, 2 really good goalies, 2 good teams. I think it's going to be a close game, and it just screams under for me. I like the Flyers. I think the Flyers are going to pound the Sharks, but that seems like a pretty obvious and public play at that. I don't think you need me to tell anybody, hey, take the Flyers puck line versus the Sharks. To me, that seems like kind of like a no-brainer. But sometimes that backfires, so I don't want to play devil's advocate. But I definitely a fan of the Flyers, the puck line there. That one seems like a good one. And then the other one, the Flames. You said Flames. I like if I was going to take anything on the Flames, I think it would be their team total. Sharks backup goalie. That is true. Looking at the Flames, they've been a team. Blackhawks over 5.5. I have over 6 right now. Obviously, that's always a good sign. 2 teams, defense is optional. Blackhawks just won 7-4, 5-2. They gave up a 5 donut to Colorado. I think they're a young team and they're going to score goals. And then they're playing obviously the Ducks, who couldn't stop Jimmy from scoring. And it's just terrible defense there. Terrible goalies, terrible defense. overall, I think it's gonna be an over game, and I love that play. It kind of makes me look at it twice when I see it opens at 5.5, and that'd be my only hesitation why that I wouldn't really hammer down on that, because like why would that not be 6.5 to start? But it's an option. It's definitely an option. I would probably, if anything, I would take the Blackhawks money line in that game or Blackhawks team total. I think they're gonna walk all over the Ducks. I don't think the Ducks, they're a bad team in a bad spot right now. Definitely what I'm looking at though. Definitely what I'm looking at. But I do have my I got my favorites for the night. And one of those games is definitely going to be, I like the Sabres. I think the Sabres are going to surprise a lot of people tonight. And they got the Red Wings at home on the money line, minus 130. I'm great on the ice, Jimmy. You are not. Just got a new twig today, though, so we're pretty fired up about that. Getting ready for some old men's league. Got a new hockey stick in the chute, and ready to hit the ice tonight, actually. So, same money. I agree. Gloria, I definitely agree with the money line pick there. Definitely agree with that. But, hey, I think this is a wrap up for the first live. We're going to keep it going. We're going to try to get more steady and try to hit right around noon every day, noon Eastern Standard Time, and we're trying to go live for at least 10 to 15 minutes every day. New stick, new goals, without a doubt. Not even a question. Hey, Gloria, Jimmy cannot skate. I promise you that. He'd be like that guy with some rental skates if you ever see him out there and they have Velcro on them. So, no way he skates. Hey, I appreciate everyone stopping by the live. We're going to keep it up. Obviously, we didn't have a huge show out for the live. First time doing it. No really warning. But we're going to try to make this a regular thing every day at noon. At least 3 to 4 times a week. Right around noon, we're going to get this lives pumping for you guys. So, as always, good luck. God bless. Grind on and let's go.